The third How to Train Your Dragon film is hitting theaters. Does this franchise still have bite, or is it toothless? I'll let you know right here on Screen Junkies News. Hey everybody, I'm Dan Murrell, and thank you for watching this review of How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. As I mentioned, the third and final film in the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, which is hitting theaters in North America this weekend after a run in a lot of parts in the world that's already put a lot of dragon coins into the studio's bank account. If you're a fan of the How to Train Your Dragon franchise, the creative team, you'll be happy to know, hasn't changed much in this third film. Director Dean DeBlois, who was a co-writer and director on the first film and the writer-director of How to Train Your Dragon 2, is back for this installment, which finds Hiccup and Toothless, all your favorite dragons, all your favorite citizens of Berk, once again facing off against a dragon-collecting villain, this one voiced by F. Murray Abraham. Their challenge is to save their dragons, find the hidden world, which is the dragon homeland, fight some pirates as always, and also find love, because of course, as if you've seen any of the trailers or marketing, you'll see that Toothless in this film has his own love interest, another Night Fury or a Bright Fury that catches his eye. And how adorable are these two? And I think that's really what this franchise has hinged on, is not only are they fun stories, but the character design and the way that they use these characters have really engaged an audience over, at this point, almost a decade since the release of the first film. Now it's time for a little full disclosure, which is that I don't have a very long history with this series of films. The first two actually sort of slipped under the radar for me, and I didn't watch them until not too long ago in order to be up to date to review this film. So I'm reviewing this film from a perspective of somebody who's just seen the first two films. But I also acknowledge that for a lot of people my age, and a lot of people particularly younger, these films are to them a lot like what the Toy Story films were for me. And I think that no matter what you think of the franchise, if you're a fan of it, you're gonna be a fan of these movies, because this does in many ways what Toy Story 3 did for that franchise, at least until they've revived it later this year, which is to provide a conclusion, to pay off character moments and character beats that have been set up for the last two films, and to really give an emotional finale to people that have tracked these films over the years. And one thing that I found in the first, second, and third films in this How to Train Your Dragon series is that they're incredibly consistent. I've liked all three of them. I think that they look amazing, which I'll talk about in a second. I think that they have well-drawn characters, that the stories are good, that they're engaging. And again, let's not forget that these are also a lot of kids in the audience. They're cute movies. They have cute characters. I think that they're all well made. And I think that what this film does is give the How to Train Your Dragon series an arc, a 3-film arc that's very in line with the other films in the series. And I think that your feelings about this film will be very much in line with your feelings about the other 2 films in this trilogy. Which means that if you love the first 2 movies, I think you're really gonna love this one, and maybe even a little bit more, because they do find a way to conclude the story as they've been advertising in a really sweet and effective way. Now, one thing that you can definitely credit this film with, beyond just being a well-told story, is the craft of it. And smartly, what these films have done is recruit Roger Deakins, a legendary cinematographer, as a visual consultant. And watching all these 3 films in a very compressed, limited space of time for me, what it's really shown me is that not only are they building as far as their storytelling goes, but that the craft of this film has advanced in the 9 years since How to Train Your Dragon premiered back in 2010. These aren't just well-told stories, these are beautiful films. And I can see the advancements of the creative team behind the looks of these films continuing to stay up with technology and pushing the limits in every single film in this franchise. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is a beautiful film, as beautiful as the last 2 have been, but it doesn't just settle in to the fact that the last 2 movies had a great look. It continues to push the boundary, and it's not only an entertaining film to watch, it's a good film to look at and enjoy from a cinematic level, as seen through the eye of a cinematographer like Roger Deakins, the consultant on this film. So How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is a movie that I will recommend. If you're a fan of the franchise, I really think you're gonna love this movie. If you just like animation, if you like kids movies, if you like animated films, whatever side of the spectrum they fall on, I think you're still gonna enjoy this as well. And overall, when you look at the big picture, I think what they've done with these films is produce a solid trilogy of movies. And when you look at all of the different kinds of films across genre and decades that have attempted to tell a story across 3 films, that have attempted to make a trilogy in which each one of the films delivers, how many of them have actually been able to do that? The list is pretty short. So until they revive it in 15 years, How to Train Your Dragon is a very fun and satisfying trilogy. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World is a very good conclusion to that trilogy. And overall, I think that these are 3 films that I enjoyed a lot, and I think you will too. Thanks for watching this review. We'll see you next time.